Welcome back to Living Whiskey. I'm Callum.
I'm Sam.
Today we're having a look at the Masterson's 10-year-old rye.
Alrighty, so this was Dan's, wasn't it? We got it from Dan's. Yeah, it was like what? It was $130, but
$139.
no, it was $129.
Was it?
So $130. Question me.
I paid for it.
I know, that's why I was confused as to how you got it wrong. Anyway, it was $130 from Dan's, but at Nick's, which is normally way cheaper, it was like $170 or something. So
and a lot of other places it was around the 180 mark.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically, it's a 10-year-old rye. We're fans of rye. We're a lot more so now than we used to be. But they still can be quite hit or miss. This one, we had some, but like it was a night out, and I don't remember it. I don't remember how it tasted, honestly. So I can't remember if it was even good or bad. But it's 45%, 100% straight rye whiskey. Straight rye whiskey, 10 years old. The history behind it is weird. It was like initially, I don't know. So it still says 3-badge mixology or something on the back, and I think it's 3-badge like Beverage Corporation is who owned it. But I thought they were already bought by another company since then, unless this is an old bottle or something. Yeah. It's from California, and it's it's done the rounds there. Guess it's just taken its sweet time getting here, which is normal because it's Australia and we get everything late. But it's like what Whistle Pig does. It's made in. It's not made by the guys that. It's not made. Masterson's isn't a distillery. It's not anything like that. It's just a label.
It's like sourced.
Yeah, exactly. It's a source bottle, so it's a Canadian place that manufactures it. Then it's sent to America and rebottled and then sold there. Which sounds shady, but like it's actually pretty common. Like Whistle Pig, which is a very popular and very good for the most part rye whiskey brand, that's what they do as well. Yeah. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Sourcing is pretty common, and as long as they're like
especially when it's 10 years, you got to sit on it for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. And as long as it's transparent with it, then I'm fine with it. As long as it tastes good. It's pretty sweet.
Lolly sweetness.
It's got a lot of sweetness.
But that rye spices are there.
Yeah, it's definitely got
that
that
cardamom in this.
I'm surprised it is. Not surprised, but like it doesn't smell. Like if I'm thinking of like the most rye kind of rye that I've had, it's more like ones like Wild Turkey that have that really like green, like sappy, like too green, like not really enjoyable
taste,
kind of taste to it. And that's what like super rye kind of, or even like Manhattan, like how it's just weird. Like it's so green. But this is like, this feels like a very high rye bourbon. Yeah. You know, like it's got the nice kind of balance of like sweetness and spices and like caramelization and stuff like that. The barrel bitterness doesn't feel like this just kind of glass full of vegetation, which some ryes do taste like. Things like...
I'm glad it's not like that.
Oh, no. That's the preference is when it's like this. Yeah, for sure. But I think maybe 10 years old might put kind of like a rounded edge over that, because it does get pretty sharp. But then again, because New Oak, in America, whenever you do anything, 10 years can often make it too sharp. Like it's not like with Scotch, because it's because it's a new oak barrel. The longer it's in it, the more of those kind of like bitter, harsh wood tannins get brought into the whiskey itself. Yeah. So it can get less smooth as time goes on for things like American whiskey. So it's really hard to gauge what the hell is kind of like causing certain effects. You know, like Smarties, like that chalky, chocolatey sweetness.
Our Smarties or American Smarties?
What are American Smarties?
Like those sherbety things, aren't they?
I don't know. Well, we're here and I'm talking about what I know.
I don't know. So, I watched Whiskey Vault, and they say Smarties, and they always show a picture of like they look like a lifesaver kind of thing.
Well, here Smarties are like M&Ms, but they're like a bit bigger and like kind of flatter. Yeah, and they're a bit more like chalky. That's what I mean. That like chalky sweet outside, like yeah. It's nice. It's a nice nose. I say it's 45%. 40.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, 45%. I would like to see this higher, but 45 is totally fine.
How much would it cost though?
Well, again, that's the thing with stuff like this.
I wish we had a Rittenhouse.
We are out of it. It's there, but it's empty. I polished that off ages ago.
Sick.
Yeah. Rittenhouse is like
I wish we had that to compare.
Yeah, Rittenhouse is one of my absolute just go-tos.
It's really cheap as well.
It's cheap and it's so damn good. Like if someone commented not too long ago, I forget your name, but you were talking about when we did the rye lineup, and they were saying that they got Knob Creek, and they were glad that we liked it because they went with that over Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
If you're watching this one and you remember what we're talking about, go for the Rittenhouse next because it kicks ass.
It's very nutty.
It's like really sweet, and then it gets pretty
Bitter.
dry and bitter.
Yeah.
Like it gets kind of like.
I like that though.
The you can definitely taste. I don't know if it's you can taste how old it is, but I'm tasting something that I don't often get in younger ryes, like that kind of like deep wood bitterness that lingers like afterwards. Like the finish is still going. It's very bitter and high. Like the tannins are there. They're definitely present. I feel like that probably comes from the barrel.
It's a very wild turkey-esque, or is that just me?
I don't know.
With obviously more rye.
Oh, you're talking about the
But
wild
the
turkey
flavor,
bourbon.
the flavor profile.
Yeah. It's missing like a lot of the kind of like cherry.
Yeah, it is missing
dark
cherry.
fruit notes. It's
But
more
that deep, rich molasses, caramelly sweetness is there.
I'm not getting enough of it. Like it's there, but it goes so quickly and turns into bitter wood tannins. Like it's up front, it's nice and sweet, but then it like immediately turns a corner and turns into that kind of like.
Yeah, I don't like how rapid that is.
It's like very quickly.
Yeah.
It like turns a corner and becomes like it almost like sucks the moisture out of your mouth. It's not bad, but it's just like I would like a bit more of like a oily, sweet kind of thick, and then
palate,
it goes. It's too quick that sweetness. I wish it stuck around a little bit longer.
It is very nice though.
It's good.
That's probably one of my favorite
It's a lot of
ryes
a lot of black tea. Mine's still
And licorice as well.
Knob Creek and Rittenhouse are still, I reckon, a fair bit like above this for me.
I reckon flavor-wise, this is probably my favorite. I wouldn't say it's $180 worth. Not even $130 worth. I'd probably pay $100-ish for it. Probably Knob Creek price I'd pay for this.
Me personally, I could never choose this over Knob Creek or Rittenhouse. I prefer those, but this is good. But it's just a preference game.
Yeah.
But the pricing does kind of shut you out.
If you need
If you're comparing Rittenhouse to this and you're looking at the pricing,
yeah.
if
It was like 3 times Rittenhouse.
yeah, like that's kind of it's very difficult to justify. So if you're just buying it once for the experience of just trying something new,
Yeah.
I feel like it's worth it. It shouldn't be a big letdown.
We're just going to compare the Knob Creek Rye, consider we made those big statements. I just want to
I
actually
made the
try
big
it.
statements. I said I like it more.
Won't have a
Very
big one.
clearly we enjoy it because we're about to have to buy another bottle of it.
I don't remember drinking that much.
I
by the way.
also do not remember. See, this is reminding me of like rare breed almost. Like it's got just this nice like deep fruity
What is it?
cherryness.
50%, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just got more like raspberry, like tart fruits in it. I like the nose on this like a lot.
Oh, it's turning into like the Manhattan.
It's just
Sultanery.
very simple sweet, but it's nice. Like it's nice and pleasant. Whereas that's like so rich with like nice fruits and kind of like the
I'm getting a bit
tart.
of ethanol on the Knob Creek. Ever so slightly. But yeah, the sweetness from the fruits.
I always get like a raspberry crumble, like a mixed berry crumble with these kind of things. It's like got the cinnamon and the brown sugar and the kind of like toasted oats, but with the like bitter cherries and stuff.
I need to taste that Knob Creek.
Oh, come on. I much prefer the Knob Creek.
Yeah. So do I.
It's just I much prefer. There's so much more flavour.
That's insane that they're charging $80 extra as well for that. That is if that's $90, then that's double the price.
Some places, yeah.
That's insane.
It's a lot more simplistic coming off Knob Creek. I don't dislike it, but Knob Creek is I just flavour wise much prefer it. Even if they're at the same price, I'd still prefer Knob Creek. But Knob Creek is like substantially cheaper as well. So for me, I don't think it's justifiable. Love the bottle, and the whiskey itself is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Price wise, it's very hard to justify though.
If you end up picking up the Mastersons, you're not going to be disappointed in it.
No.
You are. If you do have other ryes to compare,
Yeah.
you might be.
Well, it just depends.
You can do something like
just
this.
don't get too caught up in the showiness, like the nice bottle, the very like honestly.
There is a cool
the
story
story
on the
is
front,
just fluff. It's just marketing. But don't get caught up in all that stuff, and don't get caught up in the price. Buy it like if the price doesn't bother you and you just want to try it, but don't think because it's 10 years old and it's $180 that it's going to be far superior to things like Knob Creek.
How old's Knob?
I don't know. I think like maybe 9 years old, but I can't remember what they did with the whole like
bottle change.
The bottle change, whether they were all 9 years old or it's just, I think that it's 9 years old if it's the same as the bourbon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Look, if you can get it for cheap, I'd pick up a bottle.
Yeah.
The Mastersons. But I have now also sided with you.
Yeah.
I would always go for the Knob Creek, even probably Rittenhouse as well.
Yeah.
Just because of the price for Rittenhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting bottle. I'm glad we got it. It's good to have.
Yep.
I'm not disappointed by it, but I'm just not like blown away by it. It's just one of those ones where it's fine, but you know, not crazy. But yeah, if you've tried this one, let us know because we've only just this was the first time we've ever seen it, so I wonder how much reach it has in other areas. So if you've tried it, let us know what you think. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode of Everything Whiskey, leave us a like and see future episodes from us. Maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, we'll see you next one. Cheers.